What we're seeing is unpredictability. And I guess the best piece of advice is when you're hearing confidence from anybody on either side, take it with a big grain of salt. We'll know soon enough. But right now, the final national poll average, we've been tracking all the major national polls all summer, all fall, and it's going to land at Harris just over a point ahead of Trump nationally. One thing to keep in mind, 2020, 2016, the last two times Donald Trump ran, he trailed more significantly in the national polls throughout the campaign and on the eve of the election. This speaks to potentially one of the things we're going to be looking for tomorrow night. In the polling, at least, Donald Trump has broadened his appeal demographically, more non-white support, maybe more younger support than he's had in the past. It's a question of whether that you see in the polls will materialize on election day, but that might explain a bit of why his number is higher this time than last time. But of course, it's not decided by the popular vote. It is decided in those 7 core battleground states. And if there's a surprise, maybe outside of the battleground, but within the battleground, you do see closeness is the overall picture. We've seen a very slight north-south divide here where Trump is doing a little bit better, a tick better. These are the averages again in Georgia, in Arizona, in North Carolina, where Harris is doing a tick better in Michigan, in Wisconsin, in Pennsylvania. And what this means, barring a surprise outside of these core 7 battleground states, is if Harris converts this, if she actually wins Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, those 3 northern tier battleground states, all of which were won by Joe Biden. With that, Harris would have exactly 270 electoral votes. Trump could win all those Sunbelt states, could throw in Nevada too. He would be short. Trump would have to win, unless he pulls a rabbit out of the hat somewhere else, one of these 3 northern battleground states. He's going to have to break into what I used to call the blue wall. He did it in 16. He's going to have to do it in at least one tomorrow. Again, unless there's a surprise elsewhere. And I keep saying that because I am sure your viewers know this, but we had a poll from a very high-quality pollster in Iowa over the weekend whose poll has caught trends before that others haven't seen. We've thought of Iowa as a red state. Both parties have thought of it as a red state in the presidential election, but the poll put Harris ahead by 3, and it raises the possibility of, is there something going on in Iowa no one was expecting? And if it's happening in Iowa, are there other states that we haven't paid attention to, the parties haven't paid attention to, it hadn't been called, where there could be some kind of a surprise brewing?